Dear Starseed, something around you has quietly changed, and even if you cannot fully name it yet, some part of you already knows it is true. I am Azeron, a representative of the High Council of Sirius, and I want you to understand something with great clarity. What is shifting in and around you right now is not a coincidence, and it is not your imagination. By the end of this message, you will understand exactly what is changing in your field, why the people around you are responding to you differently, and how to remain rooted in yourself as your presence becomes more and more noticeable to others. You have not done anything dramatic to cause this. There was no single moment, no ritual, no decision. It has been building slowly, the way a tide builds before it reaches the shore, quietly, steadily, until suddenly the water is undeniable. Your frequency has been stabilizing at a level that is now coherent enough for others to feel, even when they have no language for what they are sensing. Some are drawn to you without knowing why. Some feel unsettled in your presence without understanding the source. Some watch you a little longer than they used to. None of them can explain it, but you can feel that something has changed in how the world is meeting you. This is not something you are performing. It is something you are becoming. And the discomfort, the heightened awareness, the strange new attention, all of it is simply the world beginning to register what has always been true about who you are. You did not stumble upon this message. The part of you that is already awake recognized something here and followed it. Stay with me until the end. What comes next is meant for exactly where you are right now, and I am grateful you are here with me now. Something has changed, hasn't it? Perhaps you felt it subtly at first, like the whisper of a breeze before a storm, or the barely perceptible shift in the Earth's rotation. But lately, it's become undeniable. People are looking at you longer than they used to. Their gaze is lingering with an unspoken curiosity, a nascent recognition that feels both familiar and entirely new. Strangers in particular seem to gravitate towards you, offering unusual kindness or an almost magnetic curiosity that draws them closer. Conversations, instead of being sought out, now seem to find you without effort, unfolding organically, as if guided by an unseen hand. Messages arrive out of nowhere, synchronistic and timely, often echoing thoughts or questions you've held silently within your heart. Compliments that once felt rare, like precious jewels discovered after a long search, now appear in clusters, showering you with affirmation. And even when no one says anything at all, you can feel it. A palpable energy shift. Attention landing on you like a beam of light you didn't ask for, yet one that bathes you in its gentle glow. It's as if a spotlight has been turned on your very essence, not glaring, but illuminating. If a part of you feels exposed by this newfound illumination, as though a veil has been lifted that you weren't quite ready to shed, you're not imagining that sensation. It's a natural, almost primal response to suddenly being seen after years of quietude. And if another part of you feels quietly, profoundly relieved, like life is finally acknowledging something you've carried in silence, a truth held deep within your soul that longed to be witnessed. You're not imagining that either. Both of these powerful, often contradictory emotions are valid, deeply rooted in your past experiences and your soul's unfolding journey. This isn't random, a mere coincidence in the fabric of your days. No, this is a profound energetic signature, a sacred response from the universe. This is what happens when your inner waters begin to settle, when the turbulent currents of your past quiet themselves, allowing the depths of your being to become crystal clear and still. For a long time, your very presence may have felt like mist, ethereal, beautiful in its own elusive way, yet inherently hard for others to truly recognize or grasp. Not because you were small or insignificant, but because your energy was still operating from a protective stance. It was an energy still learning which parts of this vast, complex world were safe enough to let you be seen, safe enough for your authentic light to shine without fear of being extinguished or exploited. It was an energy still holding old currents within its flow, the vigilant hum of hypervigilance, constantly scanning for threat, the energetic drain of overgiving, believing you had to earn your place, the subtle contortion of self-editing, shaping yourself to fit expectations, the painful constriction of shrinking to keep the peace, becoming smaller to avoid conflict. These were the protective layers your soul adopted, like a chrysalis, to navigate a world it perceived as potentially unsafe for your true radiance. But now, something profound in you has stabilized. The internal tremor has quieted. The fragmented pieces have begun to coalesce, and when your frequency stabilizes, when these inner waters find their profound stillness, it becomes coherent. It aligns, harmonizes, and vibrates with an undeniable clarity. When it becomes coherent, like a perfectly tuned instrument, it becomes visible, not just superficially, but profoundly resonant. This visibility doesn't always manifest to the eyes first. Often, it's felt deep within the nervous system of others. They sense you. They feel the purity of your energetic field long before their minds can process or articulate what they are experiencing. It's an intuitive, visceral recognition. That is precisely why the attention is increasing. It isn't a disruption to your quiet existence. It is a recognition, a mirror reflecting the radiant truth you have cultivated within. And yes, sometimes this recognition arrives with an intensity that can feel overwhelming. This is because when a soul carries such a clear, resonant signal, it naturally draws a powerful response from the energetic field around it. Think of a lighthouse standing sentinel on a rugged coast. It doesn't chase ships across the dark waters. It doesn't shout for attention. It simply is. And once its unwavering beam is lit, once its purpose is fully embodied, it cannot help but be seen, guiding and illuminating for all who are ready to perceive its light. Your emerging wholeness functions in much the same way. If this new, intense visibility has been confusing, perhaps even unsettling, let me speak softly, directly into the quiet center of your being. You are not too much. Your light, your energy, your authentic self is precisely as it is meant to be. You're not doing anything wrong. This unfolding is a natural part of your spiritual evolution, a blossoming that cannot be rushed or forced. You are not losing your privacy by accident. This is an intentional, soul-led revelation, a sacred unveiling that signals a new phase in your journey. You are becoming harder to ignore because you are becoming harder to distort. Your frequency is so clear, so true, that it resists the projections, misinterpretations, and energetic manipulations that may have clouded your presence in the past. Like pure gold, your essence shines through any attempt to tarnish it. There is a specific kind of profound exhaustion that often precedes this monumental shift, an exhaustion that isn't born from doing too much, from external effort or endless tasks, but rather from the immense continuous effort of holding yourself back. It's the deep soul weariness that comes from compressing your truth, from constantly trying to dim your own light to fit into dimly lit spaces. It's the fatigue of bending your natural, organic shape, like a mighty tree constantly trying to fold itself into a small pot to fit spaces that never truly learned how to hold you with the care, respect, and reverence you inherently deserved. This hidden strain, this energetic suppression, has been a heavy burden on your spirit. Now that compression is releasing. It's like a spring uncoiling after years of tension, a deep, silent exhalation from your very core. And as it releases, as your natural energetic form reclaims its intended dimensions, your energy begins to take up its rightful space in the world, quietly, naturally, without any need for forcing or striving. This expansion is not aggressive or demanding. It is simply an effortless blooming. That is precisely what others are responding to, often without conscious awareness. They are sensing a field of presence that no longer apologizes for existing, a sovereign energy that is simply being. This profound shift is also why you may feel two powerful, seemingly contradictory emotions at once. A deep tenderness within you that longs to be seen, to be acknowledged, to finally step into the warm embrace of recognition. And simultaneously, a primal protective instinct that urgently wants to retreat, to pull back into the sanctuary of anonymity, to shield itself from potential harm. Both of these responses are not only understandable, but deeply wise. Because in earlier seasons of your life, being noticed may not have felt safe at all. Being visible might have meant being judged harshly, misread completely, or pulled upon by others' needs and expectations. It may have meant being expected to perform, to constantly validate your worth, or to rescue others from their own discomfort. It might have meant being endlessly expected to explain yourself, to justify your existence or your unique perspective. These past experiences have deeply imprinted themselves upon your nervous system, creating a protective reflex. So if your body feels a little on edge, a little hyper-aware, while your soul is simultaneously opening to this new wave of recognition, that is not a flaw in your being. That is intelligence. That is your system learning a new, vital truth, recalibrating its internal compass. You can be seen now without being consumed by the demands or projections of others. Your light can shine without diminishing your essence. You can be felt now without being taken from, without your energy being drained or exploited. Your presence can resonate without being depleted. The tide has truly turned in your energetic landscape. A new era has dawned. But just as a mariner learns to find their footing on a newly discovered shore, you are still learning how to stand firmly, gracefully, and peacefully on this new spiritual terrain. Some healing doesn't come through words, it comes through water. Water holds memory, it carries codes, it purifies and renews. If something stirred within you just now, a deep resonance that felt like a recognition from the depths of your own soul, you may be ready to receive the Sirian water codes. This powerful guide carries sacred techniques channeled from the ancient crystalline waters of Sirius, clearing baths designed to wash away old energetic debris, breathing practices that infuse your being with pure light, profound sound activations that recalibrate your cellular structure, and powerful protection rituals designed specifically for starseeds who have always felt a deep, undeniable call from the ocean. A longing for home. This guide offers tangible practices to support you in integrating this new level of visibility and anchoring your light. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time, so if you feel the pull, allow yourself to explore this sacred offering. The next part of our journey together is crucial. It's what helps you hold this profound change with grace and peace, so that this increased attention doesn't pull you off center, doesn't destabilize your newfound equilibrium, and so that this expanded visibility doesn't cause you to instinctively disappear again, retreating into the shadows you've worked so hard to emerge from. At first, stepping into this new energetic field can feel disorienting, almost like you're walking through a shallow sea where every single movement you make, every subtle shift in your energy is noticed. In this heightened state, your energy seems louder than your words, communicating volumes before you even utter a sound. You might discover that you can no longer hide the way you used to, that the old cloaking mechanisms you developed have simply dissolved. This can bring a wave of self-consciousness, a feeling of being under a magnifying glass, vulnerable and exposed. But it's essential to remember that self-consciousness is not the inherent truth of you. It is simply the old instinct, the deeply ingrained habit of protection adjusting to a new reality. It's a temporary echo of the past, not the authentic voice of your present self. This adjustment, this profound recalibration, moves in distinct yet fluid phases, like the gradual turning of the seasons or the slow, powerful shift of tectonic plates. In the beginning, there is the phase where you primarily notice the external manifestations, the lingering stares, the sudden unprovoked friendliness, the strange, almost magnetic intensity people project towards you. During this phase, you might frequently wonder if you're imagining it all, if your perception is playing tricks on you. You might scrutinize your reflection, wondering if you changed your appearance in some way. You might internally ask, am I giving off something? And the answer is yes, you are, but it's not what your old fears might lead you to believe. You're giving off coherence. You're radiating an integrated, stable frequency that is inherently attractive to the nervous systems of others. You're giving off a self that is no longer fragmented, no longer a collection of different personas for different situations. The energetic division between who you are alone in your sacred space versus who you are when interacting with others has begun to dissolve. The waters within you, once many competing currents pulling in various directions, are now becoming one unified, powerful, and tranquil body of water. This integration creates an undeniable energetic field of authenticity. Then comes the phase where your sensitivity sharpens to an exquisite degree. You begin to feel, with almost clairvoyant precision, the subtle nuances of who is looking at you and why. You start to discern who is looking at you with genuine respect, honoring your presence, who is looking at you with a subtle hunger, perhaps seeking something to take or to fill a void within themselves, and who is looking at you with confusion, their inner world stirred by the clarity you emanate. This is an incredibly important distinction to cultivate, for not everyone is drawn to you for the same reason or with the same intention. Some feel profound comfort in your presence, a sense of safety and belonging. Some feel only curiosity, intrigued by your unique energetic signature. And others, perhaps those whose own systems are operating from a place of deep fragmentation or struggle, may feel profoundly challenged by the mirror of your coherence. When your energetic field becomes this stable, this clear, it gently, effortlessly reveals what is unstable, unintegrated, or unclear in others. This revelation is not meant as a punishment or a judgment. It simply acts as a contrast. It's like placing a vessel of crystal clear, still water beside a vessel of cloudy, turbulent water. The clarity itself doesn't attack or condemn the cloudiness. It simply shows what is, highlighting the difference without effort, without malice, simply by existing in its own pure state. After that, as your awareness of this new dynamic deepens, you may enter a phase where you are powerfully tempted to manage the attention, to try and control the narrative of your visibility. You might find yourself wanting to dim yourself, to subtly reduce your light so you can move through the world without causing ripples, without drawing too much notice. Or conversely, you might be tempted to brighten yourself artificially, to amplify certain aspects of your being so you can control how others perceive you, to shape the narrative to your liking. You might strive to become perfectly pleasant, perfectly agreeable, in an effort to ensure no one misunderstands you, to avoid any potential friction or discomfort in their perception. Or you might choose to become deliberately distant, to erect energetic barriers so no one can truly reach you, fearing the vulnerability that comes with deep connection. This, beloved soul, is the pivotal moment to pause, to breathe deeply, and to remember a fundamental truth. You do not need to perform your stability. You do not need to act out your coherence or try to manipulate the perceptions of others. You only need to return to it. Return to the quiet, steady anchor within your own being. A truly coherent frequency, an authentically stable presence, does not chase approval from anyone, for its validation comes from within. And it does not fear misunderstanding, for its truth is self-evident. It simply remains true to itself, unwavering and pure. Then, there is a quieter, often underestimated phase, one that many bypass or repress, where you begin to grieve. This is a profound and necessary step in fully integrating your new state of being. You grieve the years you were invisible, the moments your brilliance was unseen, your truth unheard. You grieve the countless times you begged to be understood, to be truly known, and in return received only silence or worse, misinterpretation. You grieve the version of you who tried so hard, who bent over backwards, who sacrificed so much to earn a basic gentleness, a fundamental understanding, a loving acceptance that should have been freely given simply because you existed. This grief is holy in its own way, not religious in a dogmatic sense, not dramatic or performative, but deeply, profoundly real. It is your heart letting go of an old, painful contract, a deeply ingrained belief that you must be overlooked, must remain small or hidden, in order to be safe in this world. This contract served a purpose once, protecting a vulnerable part of you, but it no longer serves the radiant being you are becoming. Your heart is now learning a new agreement with life, a powerful, self-affirming declaration. I can be seen and still belong to myself. My visibility does not equate to ownership by others. Soon after this period of gentle grieving, a practical and entirely unavoidable phase arrives, the establishment of clear, conscious boundaries. These are not harsh boundaries, not defensive walls erected out of fear or aggression. They are simply the clean, clear edges of self-respect, the natural demarcation of your energetic space, much like the gentle banks that define a flowing river. You may begin to notice a quiet shift in your habits. You don't automatically answer every message the moment it arrives. You don't feel compelled to stay in every conversation that drains your energy. You don't over-explain your choices, seeking external validation or understanding. You don't automatically smile when something feels off, honoring your authentic internal experience. And as you begin to embody these clean edges of self-respect, some people will respond to this new clarity with greater respect, acknowledging and honoring your boundaries. Others, however, may respond with subtle pressure, a quiet resistance, or even a sense of being challenged by your newfound sovereignty. Let that simply be information. Let it be a clear signal that reveals their own inner landscape, their patterns around respect, boundaries, and energetic exchange. It is not a call for you to adjust yourself, but for you to deepen your self-awareness. Your presence is becoming like a steady, undeniable current, calm, powerful, and utterly unwavering. Just as a river does not argue with the stones or obstacles in its path, but simply flows around what cannot move with it, your presence will navigate the world with effortless grace. It doesn't expend energy fighting, it simply moves with its own truth. Then comes the phase of magnetism with profound discernment. As your coherence strengthens and your energetic field expands, you will naturally attract more opportunities, more invitations, more attention, more resources into your life. But now, critically, you are learning to choose not based on old patterns of guilt or obligation. You are learning to choose based on deep resonance, on a felt sense of alignment that vibrates through your entire being. Your decisions will be guided by the quiet, undeniable yes in your body, rather than the loud, insistent should in your mind. This is where your inner wisdom becomes your compass. This is also the beautiful stage where your innate gifts stop feeling like a private burden you must guard or hide, and instead begin to unfold, naturally and effortlessly, into a natural offering to the world. Not an offering of strenuous effort, of pushing or striving, but an offering of pure, unadulterated presence. Your very being becomes the gift, radiated simply by existing in your authenticity. And finally, in a profound and deeply liberating moment, there is the phase where you realize the most stabilizing truth of all. You do not have to harden your heart or your energetic field to be safe in this world. True safety comes from softness, from fluidity, from remaining open, yet sovereign. You do not have to hide your truth or diminish your light to keep what is uniquely yours. Your most sacred self is protected by its very authenticity, its unwavering coherence. You do not have to make yourself smaller, to shrink your magnificent being, to keep others comfortable in their own limitations or fears. Your expansion does not diminish them. It merely invites them to expand as well. You only have to stay in your own waters, rooted in your own truth, anchored in the calm, clear depths of your integrated self. That is your ultimate sanctuary, your most powerful protection. Now, let the deepest truth meet you exactly where you are in this journey, sinking into the very core of your being. The increase in attention you are experiencing is not life trying to distract you from your sacred path, to pull you off course with external demands or fleeting recognitions. No, it is life unequivocally confirming that your frequency is landing. It is the universe, in its infinite wisdom, acknowledging that the inner work you have done, the deep healing you have undertaken, is now radiating outwards, making a profound impact on the energetic fabric of reality. For so long, you may have found yourself on a tireless quest to find yourself, as if a vital piece of you were missing, lost somewhere in the labyrinth of life. You may have felt a persistent need to become more spiritual, more healed, more ready, believing that your wholeness was a destination to be reached through arduous effort. But what is happening now is profoundly different, a reversal of the old paradigm. This is not you reaching upward, striving to attain something beyond yourself. This is you becoming whole. This is the integration of all your fragments, the alignment of your divine and human aspects, the radiant blossoming of your authentic self. And wholeness, in its majestic simplicity, has an unmistakable signature. It carries a divine pattern, an inherent geometry that the world can feel, resonate with, and respond to, even if the conscious mind cannot yet name it or fully comprehend its source. Like the ancient builders by the Nile, understood the sacred geometry of the pyramids. When the inner architecture is perfectly aligned, the outer structure stands without strain, without visible effort, without external support. It does not shout for attention. It does not beg to be seen or acknowledged. It simply becomes undeniable in its sheer presence and inherent perfection. That is what you are becoming, dear soul. Undeniable in the gentlest, most profound way. So when you feel eyes on you, when you sense that heightened awareness from others, do not immediately assume danger or retreat into old protective patterns. Pause. Take a deep, grounding breath. Feel your feet firmly connected to the earth beneath you. Let your nervous system, your ancient wise system, learn and integrate this new, vital association. Attention does not have to mean invasion of my sacred space. Visibility does not have to mean loss of my sovereignty or privacy. Being felt by others does not have to mean being taken from or depleted. If someone's attention feels genuinely warm and respectful, like a gentle, nourishing sunlight on still water, receive it simply, graciously, without needing to overanalyze it or turn it into a complex story. Allow yourself to be seen and appreciated in that moment. If, however, someone's attention feels heavy, intrusive, or hungry, if it carries an energy that feels grasping or demanding, do not panic. Do not immediately assume you are doing something wrong or that your light has attracted something negative. What it means, powerfully and simply, is that your clarity is revealing their own internal relationship with power, with intimacy, and with self-control. Your coherent energy acts as a mirror, reflecting back their own unintegrated aspects. You are not responsible for their reaction or their internal state. You are, however, profoundly responsible for your own boundaries, for safeguarding your energetic integrity, And the most powerful boundary you can ever establish is not a confrontation, not an aggressive defense, and certainly not an attack. It is coherence. It is the calm, unwavering decision to remain wholly and authentically yourself, regardless of the external energy or projections. It is the unshakable inner knowing that your truth is your ultimate shield and your most profound offering. Because the most beautiful, most liberating truth is this: you didn't become visible by trying to be seen. You didn't force your light to shine. You became visible by healing enough, by clearing enough of the old energetic debris, by integrating enough of your fragmented self to finally stop hiding from your own magnificent depth. Your visibility is a natural consequence of your internal radiance. Tonight, if it feels right in the quiet sanctuary of your own space, place a hand over your heart, feel its steady rhythm, and whisper these sacred truths to your soul. I am safe to be seen. I belong wholly to myself, sovereign and free. I let my presence be peaceful, emanating calm and clarity. I trust the current carrying me now, knowing it leads me to my highest good. Let those words sink like pure salt into clear water, quietly sealing what is true, anchoring these powerful affirmations into every cell of your being, creating a new, coherent reality within you. Before you go, leave one word in the comments, just one, that describes what you felt during this message. Then find someone else's word and respond with encouragement. This isn't just a comment section. It's a space where starseeds recognize each other, and that recognition carries more power than you know. If something in this message touched you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd like to keep receiving these transmissions, subscribe. The waters of Sirius will carry us to the next one. You're not just watching, you're remembering. This is your space, and I'm grateful you were here.